And welcome in tonight here at 10. First up, the D.C. region getting a taste of summer. It's been humid out there, and the thunderstorms have been intense.
That's right, and more of the same. It's on tap for tomorrow, but with a higher chance of those severe storms. So we want to get right over to meteorologist Mike Thomas, who has your Fox 5 forecast. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, guys, had some intense storms today. Thankfully, kept the severe weather at a minimum. Might not be the case over the next couple of days, though, with hotter temperatures, more humidity, and the chance for more of some of those violent thunderstorms coming on through as we head through your Thursday and Friday. We got hot today, 92. It felt like 100 for a period of time this afternoon. Dallas 88, Baltimore hit 90 degrees. Average highs just down in the middle 80s now. 84 as we take a live look. Earth cam out there showing you a quieter night overhead. But I tell you what, you step outside, you still feel that humidity, and it's not going anywhere over the next couple of days. 78, your air temperature, D.C. Dallas at 78, BWI Thurgood Marshall, 75 degrees right now. We look at satellite and radar across the area. Not too much happening right now. The storms that came through earlier today off to the east now, working their way over the oceans. Just went through the beaches all not that long ago. Off to the north and west, there are a few more storms firing over the mountains tonight. These likely going to avoid us here in Washington, but we'll monitor them just in case they decide to sneak out of the mountains into some of our southern suburbs this evening. Tomorrow, expect more of the same, maybe some clouds to start, but we should get back to sunshine decently fast. And I do think we see even more sun for a longer duration of time than we did today. And that should really get those temperatures into the middle 90s tomorrow afternoon. Once again, it's going to feel like 100 degrees plus, and during the evening hours, we are going to have that chance, as we mentioned, for some severe weather, some scattered showers and storms, which could contain some gusty winds. The worst of tomorrow's weather out near Chicago, but here we are under what we call a slight risk. That's a level 2 out of 5 chance for some severe storms. Just means that a few of the storms that fire, I think many of them will contain some heavy downpours, but a few of them could contain some damaging winds. We'll take you hour by hour. New Futurecast coming in right now. We'll show it to you coming up in just a few minutes. Jim?
We will see you in a bit, Mike. Thank you. The first court appearance today for the bus driver accused of causing that deadly crash on 95 in Stafford County. Jing Dong is facing 5 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 1 count of reckless driving. Police say the 40-year-old bus driver never hit the brakes as traffic in front of him was slowing down in a construction zone. 5 people were killed, dozens of others injured. Dong's lawyer says answers about what was happening inside of the bus will come out during the case.
That is the big question of the hour. And what I can tell you is we have had discussions on the defense team with him about his memory and what he recalls. I'm not going to go into that at this time because there are hearings where strategically we want to release that when it comes due.
Well, prosecutors say they have more than 2,000 photos and videos from the crime scene. They are sharing those with the defense.
Well, 6 people are recovering after a car crashes into a Goodwill store in Sterling, Virginia. Happened around 3 o'clock this afternoon on Manifest Boulevard. All 6 who were hurt were taken to area hospitals, and they are expected to be okay. Fire crews telling us that the building will also be fine. The sheriff's office is now investigating on how that driver ended up crashing into the Goodwill in the first place. A Maryland man, meanwhile, facing several charges, including attempted murder after a reported road rage shooting this morning on the BW Parkway. Police say 21-year-old Darius Bryant from Prince George's County pulled out a gun and shot a person in another vehicle prior to the exit for Arundel Mills Boulevard. The victim drove himself to the hospital.
At the scene of the alleged road rage shooting, our K-9 unit was doing a search and recovered a spent shell casing.
These kinds of incidents really alarm the general public.
Well, police tell Fox 5 that the victim had dash cam video of that incident, which helped police catch Bryant.
New tonight, health officials in Fairfax County say local opioid overdose deaths have now reached the lowest point in 10 years.
Fox 5's Sydney Persing just took a close look at the new data, and she joins us live now from Fairfax County with some context from doctors and also reaction from a father who lost his son to a fentanyl overdose. Sydney?
Yeah, Jim, Angie, look, there's no doubt that this new data is positive and promising, but experts and advocates alike, they warn tonight this is not a reason to get comfortable. You're going to hear from them in just a moment, but first let's take a closer look at the data. So those officials here in Fairfax County tonight say opioid overdose fatalities are now down 52% since their height in 2023. It was that year 117 people died in the Fairfax Health District. That number then dropped to 72 in 2024, and we now know tonight. It dropped to 56 last year in 2025. That is the lowest annual number, officials say, since 2015. And the decrease they add follows state and national trends. I just spoke with Caden Foster's father. Caden, you might remember, was 18, a senior at Centerville High School, a beloved student athlete about to head off to college when he died from a fentanyl overdose in 2023 after taking a pill he believed was Percocet. His dad, Sean, told me this data is absolutely a good thing, what he and so many other folks have been working towards. But he also said to please take his son's story as proof. This data is nowhere close to a reason for families to let their guards down.
A loss like this leaves a hole that is absolutely unfillable. And you can't understand what this is like to go through unless you're going through it. And at that point, it's too late. I thought I understood what the word permanent meant, but not really until this happened. I mean, there's nothing more permanent than this. And so don't assume that something like this can't happen to your family, because we did. And we were wrong.
Now, Fairfax County officials also reiterated that same message tonight. They said while this data is encouraging, the number of families impacted by opioid overdose remains far too high. Board-certified Dr. Neil Kumar told me increased education, awareness, and access to Narcan likely contribute to the decrease.
While it is encouraging to see this drop, it's also important to remember that this does not guarantee further decreases going forward from this year. So there still is a lot of opioid deaths and a lot of people going to the emergency room for overdose-related visits. So it's still something to be cautious about.
Now, Fairfax officials today also said that opioid overdose number for non-fatal overdoses, emergency room visits, that decreased as well. But they said fentanyl, that is the opioid that continues to contribute to both fatal and non-fatal, the most overdoses in Fairfax. Jim, Angie.
The head of Loudoun County Public Schools in the hot seat today on Capitol Hill. Superintendent Dr. Aaron Spence faced tough questions in the wake of federal investigation into his district over a student who was accused of recording others in a school bathroom. The superintendent was also asked about delays in notifying parents about overdoses on campus.
It's unclear to us when we have an overdose happening. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. If a student is transported medically out of our building, let's say that they have passed out and they're transported medically out of our building, when they get to the hospital, we no longer have access to their medical records. They don't tell us what happened to the child. We just know that they passed out in our building.
We tried to speak with Superintendent Spence after the hearing today, but he left before the media had a chance to speak with him.
Starting tomorrow, parking restrictions and road closures ramp up as America 250 and FIFA celebrations kick off in the D.C. area. D.C. Police, the Secret Service, along with other agencies, all working together, saying that it's all hands on deck to keep our nation's capital safe. Officials urging people now to plan ahead and use Metro, with many summer events expected to draw large crowds.
And not just police resources. We're talking fire, EMS, making sure there's the appropriate number of dispatchers and call takers. So really, this team you see behind me, it really is a team effort.
I can also tell you that when it comes to threats and response to threats, that we have no lack of imagination of what might be coming at us.
This is the nation's capital, and all of our planning occurs in the backdrop of what we know is happening internationally and nationally.
D.C.'s deputy mayor there for public safety estimating the price tag for all this extra security right now around $90 million.
At a time when Prince George's County is focused on keeping teenagers safe and focused on their futures, a new plan was unveiled today aimed at helping them find jobs this summer.
Sharon Raget joins us live from our newsroom with more on this. Hey, Sharon.
Yeah, Jim, Angie, for years, Six Flags provided hundreds of summer jobs for teens in Prince George's County. But with the amusement park closing and as National Harbor implements these youth curfews aimed at addressing teen takeovers, county leaders say the real solution isn't just restriction with curfews, it's opportunity. So now, as they partner with dozens of employers, they are calling this the largest youth workforce investment ever led by a single district in the county.
The majority of our young people are excited about their futures. They're dedicated, they're super smart. The only thing that they often lack is access and opportunity. And what this program will do is create access and opportunities for jobs in the fields that our students are passionate in. and that's going to make a real difference. Before a young person can sign up to interview for a job, we put them through rigorous training, resume writing, dress for success, how to succeed in the workplace.
Yeah, the new District 8 Youth and Young Adult Jobs Program aims to connect 500 teens and young adults between the ages of 15 and 24 with paid employment and career exposure in fields like healthcare to technology to skilled trades. And before participants can even interview for a position, they must complete workforce training focused on resume writing, interview skills, workplace success. County leaders say the response has been overwhelming. More than 550 young people applied in just 3 weeks. 120 participants have already been selected and enrolled in workforce training. 79 young people have successfully secured jobs. And for some participants, the program has already changed the way that they spend their time. And a few small business owners I spoke to tonight say that this is a win-win to help them get the needed help and capital they need.
Back then, every Saturday, I didn't know what I'd be doing. I'd be spending my time on the game, maybe going out with some friends, probably doing some stuff we probably shouldn't have been doing. But now every other day I work. Whether it be remotely or in office, I'm doing something with my time that is actually useful and investing into my future.
You have an opportunity to get in here, support your county, support your community, and pour into these young folks. Some of these young folks will more than likely get hired.
Yeah, pretty incredible opportunity. So if you live in District 8 in Prince George's County and you're between the age of 15 and 24, you can qualify. The question is, who pays for these students' jobs? Well, it's the county. Through a series of grant sources, the county will be subsidizing their paychecks, so it's not a financial burden on these businesses. And the hope is to continue this program into the fall and hopefully expand it beyond those 500 students. Jim.